To other news. Plans to bring dangerous nuclear waste to the west, they're being discussed. At the moment, waste produced at nuclear power stations here is routinely transported out of the west to be processed and stored elsewhere. But now that could change and it could end up being brought here too. Laura Jones reports.
And as you can see, you're in the middle of a really built-up area. There's lots of houses, and just across the fence behind me here is the local primary school.
A wet morning in Bridgwater, and at this railway siding in the heart of the town, a container has just arrived by lorry and is being transferred onto a railway carriage. The white flask, as it's called, contains radioactive waste from Hinkley B. It's brought here to Bridgwater by road and then loaded onto a train to be taken up to Sellafield in Cumbria for reprocessing. It's been happening for more than 40 years, but now, in addition to this, there's talk of bringing nuclear waste into Hinkley too. The proposal is to bring nuclear waste from the now closed Oldbury power station in South Gloucestershire to Hinkley to be processed and stored. That waste would be transported by road, not rail, and would mean fewer than one lorry a fortnight making the journey for 2 years between 2020 and 2022. It's something anti-nuclear protesters aren't very pleased about.
We believe that the waste has already been generated and it needs to stay where it is and be properly looked after where it is. If people don't like having it in their backyard, then the answer to that is quite simple: stop making more. When they make waste from Hinkley C, it would be so hot they're not even going to be able to move it. They don't know how to package it. They don't have a deep geological repository. It's a fantasy. There is no nuclear waste fairy. Do you know? This stuff is a real problem.
Plans to do this aren't definite and are up for consultation until tomorrow. But those at Hinkley say even if they're approved, there's nothing to worry about.
The UK has been transporting radioactive material around the country safely for many, many years without incident. And I think this is just part of that business as usual. And remembering that the number of traffic movements will be very, very low. When we enact this proposal, if it is enacted in fact, then it'll be less than one lorry movement per week.
Whatever decisions are made about what to reprocess and where, the one problem that both sides agree on is that there's still nowhere to store the processed waste long term. But that's not something that these proposals are looking at. Laura Jones, BBC Points West, Bridgwater.
The former Liberal Democrat leader, Paddy Ashdown, and his wife have survived a car accident in which a 49-year-old man died. Lord Ashdown's wife was driving on a country road near their home when they were involved in a collision with 2 other vehicles. The couple are reported to be very upset and have passed on their condolences to the family of the man who died. Wiltshire police say they've disrupted 15 suspected drugs gangs after a series of raids. Officers arrested 45 people yesterday. Drugs and illegal tobacco were seized at 60 homes and businesses in Swindon and London. 400 staff were involved in the operation.